Lincoln is a city where history seems to cling to every stone, from the towering walls of Lincoln Cathedral to the narrow medieval streets climbing the famous steep hill. The city has stood for nearly 1,000 years, but alongside the documented history of kings, bishops, and Roman soldiers, there are stories that exist in a darker corner of the archives. Stories printed in old newspapers, stories passed down through generations. Tonight, on Mysterious Lore UK, we explore eerie folklore tales from the city of Lincoln itself, legends that blur the line between myth, superstition, and history.
Welcome to Mysterious Lore. The Lincoln Imp.
Hidden high on a pillar inside Lincoln Cathedral sits a strange little creature, small, grotesque, and forever grinning. This is the Lincoln Imp, one of the most famous pieces of folklore in England. The stone carving dates back to the 13th century, when the angel choir of the cathedral was built. But the story behind it is far stranger. According to local legend, the devil once sent two mischievous imps to earth to cause chaos. After twisting the famous crooked spire over in Chesterfield, the imps travelled to Lincoln, where they broke into the cathedral itself. They smashed windows, knocked over candlesticks, and even tripped the bishop as he was walking past. Eventually, the monks prayed for help, and an angel appeared. The angel warned the imps to leave immediately, but only one fled. The other refused. Instead, it mocked the angel and began throwing stones. In response, the angel raised its sword and turned the imp into stone. Forever, to this day, the creature still sits cross-legged high above the cathedral floor, watching visitors from the shadows. Locals say if you stare long enough, you might notice the smile.
The devil looking over Lincoln.
Long before the Lincoln Imp became famous, another strange figure was said to watch over the city. Early guidebooks from the 18th and 19th centuries describe a strange sculpture on the outside of the cathedral. Some believe it represented the devil himself, watching, waiting. One writer in the 1800s described the sculpture as grotesque devil perched above the chapel, glaring over the city. According to folklore, the devil was jealous of the magnificent cathedral that had been built in Lincoln, so He climbed onto the roof and claimed the city for himself, but the clergy believed the statue served as a warning, a reminder that evil was always watching, that even sacred places were not beyond temptation. Some locals even claimed the stone figure moved slightly during storms, as if the devil was still alive inside the stone.
The ghost of the Lion and Snake pub.
Lincoln's oldest streets hide more than medieval history. They hide ghosts. One of the most famous hauntings in the city is said to occur at the historic pub known as the Lion and Snake, located near the Cathedral Quarter. According to reports collected by local historians, the pub has been haunted for decades. The most commonly seen figure is a Roman soldier. Patrons have claimed to hear the sound of marching in the cellar, as if soldiers are walking through ancient streets buried beneath the modern city. But the most famous spirit is something locals call the Granny with the Bun. Witnesses describe an elderly woman with her hair tied into a bun, walking silently through the upstairs corridors. One landlord in the 1980s claimed he stepped aside in the hallway to let the woman pass, only to realise she walked straight through him. Others say dogs refuse to enter certain rooms in the building. Whatever haunts the Lion and Snake, it seems they have been there for centuries.
The curse of Little Saint Hugh.
One of Lincoln's darkest legends dates back to the year 1255. A young boy named Hugh disappeared in the city. When his body was discovered in a well, rumours spread rapidly. Soon, people began claiming the child had been murdered in a ritual killing. The boy became known as Little Saint Hugh of Lincoln. Pilgrims began visiting the site, believing Hugh was a martyr. Stories about his death spread across England, eventually becoming the subject of ballads and folklore. Today, historians believe the accusations surrounding the story were part of a medieval myth known as a blood libel, a false claim made against Jewish communities. But the legend itself became embedded in local folklore. For centuries, people believed the spirit of the boy haunted parts of Lincoln. Even today, the story remains one of the most disturbing pieces of folklore connected to the city. Lincoln is one of England's oldest cities, with nearly 1,000 years of recorded history. It's no surprise the city is filled with stories like these, from stone imps hiding in the cathedral to ghostly figures wandering ancient pubs, shadowy creatures walking the lonely roads of Lincolnshire. These tales remind us that folklore often survives long after the truth has faded, and sometimes the strangest stories are the ones hiding in plain sight. If you've enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments, and if you want more forgotten folklore from cities across the UK, please subscribe and like this video and share it with your friends. Till the next time, somewhere maybe a little bit closer to home, I'll see you soon. Thank you for watching this video. If you like what you've seen, give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing. If you've been to any of these places and have your own experiences, or there's somewhere that you'd like us to go and tell a story of, leave it in the comments and we can have a look at it. Thank you.